Good afternoon and welcome to Jakarta. It is the FIBA Basketball World Cup. Cote d'Ivoire taking on France. This is Group P classification rounds. France in what you could easily say uncharted territory playing in this round, as this was a medal hopeful team leading into this World Cup. Shona Thorburn alongside Mark Clark. How can France come away with a win and try and finish on a high note?
Well, it's one of those, we talked about this a lot, it's one of those things where you're a year out from the Olympic Games, you've lost that objective of being involved in the latter stages of the World Cup, something you're used to doing. So as Nicholas Batum said, you got to look at yourself, find out what's gone wrong, and one of the places that's found you got to find out what's gone wrong here is by making those changes, coming up with performances in the remainder of this competition. They didn't exactly set light or burn the houses down with their performance in this on the other day, but they got the win over Lebanon. And the thing that surprises me, it's not so much, you know, the guys that you'd expect to be there in Paris next year. It's the guys that are on the margins. This is an opportunity for them in front of Coach Cote to say, hey, my attitude is great. I'm really bought in. I want to be part of this going forward, not to sort of get into a bit of a malaise about how, you know, the level of game you're playing. So there's an added incentive here. A lot of players from Cote d'Ivoire play in France in different teams.
Yep.
So they won't want any like bragging rights or whatever to go away from them. But more importantly than not, looking at themselves, they need a performance. And in some ways they haven't had a game in this tournament where you say they've applied themselves as you'd expect a French team to do. They've performed well and they've got results.
Yep.
And if there's a team that exploit a bad sort of approach to the game, it's these guys. These guys have still got stuff to play for. It doesn't look like, because of the way results have gone, that they'll have the direct qualification spot to Paris, but they want to find a way into the Olympic qualifying tournament.
Yep.
So a win here for them is a must if they want to get that far. And they've had periods of games that have been incredibly competitive. They've just had lapses. They've just got to try and have a whole game where they play at the same level.
Yeah, I agree with you. Cote d'Ivoire, it looks like their main man, Cote, is not going to be suiting up for them tonight, which is, it's a big blow for them. But someone else has to step up, right? It's always about the next man up, and we've seen it throughout the tournament. Other teams can do it, so why can't the Cote d'Ivoire? You said it, right now, Cote d'Ivoire have more to play for than France as far as what might happen next year and giving yourselves an opportunity. That being said, I think mentally and emotionally, France have a lot more to play for than the Cote d'Ivoire.
Oh, I 100% agree with that. There's more pressure on France from that perspective.
Well, there you see it. Cote d'Ivoire going up against France in a few minutes, and we have Iran and Lebanon, who both have a lot to play for. That'll be coming up at 8:30 here in Jakarta. And there is Group P seeding. France right now with the lead, all alone, 2-2. Lebanon 1-3, Cote d'Ivoire 1-3, and Iran looking for their first win in this tournament. We will take a quick pause for the playings of the national anthems.
Thank you. Please remain standing for the national anthem of Cote d'Ivoire.
Well, the staff as well as the coaches and then soon the players will be exchanging gifts and handshakes and smiles before tip-off. As we also have a third team on the floor today, excuse me. You said it, a lot of these players on Cote d'Ivoire, they play in France, not necessarily in Pro A, but second, third division, good second and third division teams, so they know these players well going into this game. And there they are. We have the crew chief in the middle, Mr. Bartel. We have Mr. Becker and Mr. Urashima will be calling today's game. As we're going to take a quick look at the starting five for France. It's they've switched up their starting five a little bit. They've had some players out as well. It looks like 11 are suited up for France today. Well, there you see Yabusele. You and I can't say enough about that man. Fournier, DeColo, Gobert, and Cordinier are going to get the start for France.
And how good has Yabusele been? I mean, he's done everything for the team. Going to get some featured players here. Elia Kobo had a really nice game in the last game, but all those points were first half points for France in that game. And he's one of the guys that you would expect, you know, coming from a big EuroLeague program, would expect to want to make an impression, want to give himself the chance to make that Olympic Games team. Nando DeColo, the other end of the spectrum, one of the veterans that you'd expect to be in Paris. He has had his injury woes, but got it going a little bit. And in the last game, 12 and 8 with 7 assists. It's a great stat line. But for Vincent Collet, someone like DeColo has been there for him whenever he's needed him. And he's going to base his team around experience.
Yeah.
But going to take the whole of next year just to prepare for the Olympic Games. So no distractions of club basketball for Vincent Collet. But he's got a difficult start point after this tournament.
He does, and they've talked about it, and I'm sure we'll talk about it as the game goes on. But first, let's take a quick look at Cote d'Ivoire. I mentioned Cote not warming up, so that is definitely a big, big loss for them. Not just in scoring, he's definitely their floor general and floor leader, so someone else is gonna have to step up for them as we will take a look at their starting five.
Well, Diabate was the man that stepped up, but Diabate doesn't get to start, and that's a little bit of a surprise because he's gone with a youngster, Mulare, and you know, give him his head, let him start the game, see what he does. He's got the experience of Cedric Barr, who's been absolutely excellent. The rest of the other four have started most games, so it's an interesting move to go with Mulare, but Jean-Philippe Dalle will start. Player to watch, 21 points against the Lebanon, shot the ball really well, 7 from 11, and really did a nice job in taking good options, which at times some of his teammates have been a little bit quick to pull the trigger. The other guy that really did well, and it's good to see him getting more minutes, plays in the UK, one of the few players in this World Cup, or the only player in the UK in this World Cup to actually play in the UK. But he really had a solid game, and having Dalle and him having solid games is what Coach Brokic really needs. He doesn't need ups and downs. He really needs a solid performance, minute 1 to minute 40, and then he might get the win. And any win against France is huge. A game that might give them a chance to potentially win this consolation group would be huge for the Cote d'Ivoire, and that might be their only way of getting into that Olympic qualification tournament.
Well, right now, Cote d'Ivoire, it's all about trying to win this game and then just wait and see what happens. There's only so much you can control, but the one thing you can control is how you come out today and how you perform. And they know going into this game that they need a win, as we see some of the French fans there. France, you know, most likely they're going to be in the Paris 2024 Olympics. I can't see why they wouldn't be. That is up to FIBA and the IOC, the Olympic Committee, to decide.
FIBA have to endorse their place as the hosts, but
this is a silver medalist from the Tokyo Olympics, so you know they're the bronze medalist from 2019. Obviously not the performance that they expected or wanted to have here, as you see. They're ranked 6th in the world at this World Cup, shooting 63.2% at 2 points. Some last-minute instructions by Coach Cote.
Probably it will be short throw of Cote, but just fake stance, don't rotate, kick and pass, okay? The other thing, if they play zone press, you go out, you go cross. So, hey, Ba go out, Ba, you go cross, CDB.
And some instructions there from Coach Prokic as we see the TISO countdown clock.
Hey, any defense that you don't recognize, you play L. Any defense you don't know, L. Okay? Okay. Hey, first offense. We will go with Iverson. Go Iverson, go corner 4, go shirt, and then corner 5. All the time zoom. If I say box, man-to-man, Mulare on Fournier. Man-to-man, Mulare on Fournier. Hey, we run, we are aggressive. Full court defense, full court. So stop, fast break, and go press full court.
Well, all that information is quite valid. I thought they'd have gone through that before the minute before the game starts, because
As a reminder.
Well, yeah, France have at times zone pressed. The box and one on Fournier, yep, teams will try it, etc. But they've looked so much better when they've been simple. Good, solid man-to-man defense, rebounded really well, and down the other end of the floor, just take good shots, but be simple. They've been incredibly effective at times in games. Let's hope that they get it right today, and let's hope that the youngster, Asmian Mulare, has a good game, and it's going to help his career if he has a good game in this one.
Absolutely will help his career and future prospects if he can go up against France and put up some big numbers. Good afternoon and welcome to Jakarta. It is the FIBA Basketball World Cup. Cote d'Ivoire taking on France in the classification rounds here. It is the last game day for both these teams. France winning the jump ball. They go into Fournier to Colbert. And Ba, I think, is going to pick up a foul. Unfortunate loose ball foul there going against Cote d'Ivoire early.
Yeah, this is one of the things that disappoints you at times about France in this tournament. If that pass was better, Gobert's going to catch it and go up. The pass was poor, which allowed people to have a dig at it.
And Fournier gets tripped up, and that is going to be an over and back call going against France. It was a good look, he just got tripped up. As they easily get it into Sidibe, gets it up to the youngin Mulare. Mulare turns the corner, going against Cordinier. He wants a pick. Sidibe, no. They find Daly. Daly penetrates onto Colo and scores at the buzzer. Nice little offensive set. Patience there by Cote d'Ivoire.
Well, it's good that I was worried Mulare gave it up with 4 seconds to go, and it's like, I don't want it, but really good decision by Daly, and that's building on his performance in the last game where he really was one of the few really consistent performers for this Cote d'Ivoire lineup.
De Colo almost dribbles out of bounds, finds Fournier, shot clock, no one on De Colo. He's left open in the corner, no good. Ba, who you and I have grown to love as this tournament has progressed. And turnover, though, by Cote d'Ivoire.
Yeah, if the Cote d'Ivoire play solid here and defensively get after it, they really could get after this French team. This French team looks a little, should we say, they're not engaged yet.
No. Yeah, you can feel that. But that shot is good by Cordinier. And you will see France actually have a little black armband on all of their jerseys, and I will talk about that at a stoppage of play and let you know who they're showing their respects to. Mulare. Wow, miscommunication defensively there. And a nice little left-handed floater finish by the youngin.
Oh, that's 2 breakdowns where they've actually got to the ring. And Gobert's got to be a bit more active as well. He's such a great presence. He's got to challenge those shots. He's got to fill that middle.
Cordinier gives it up to DeColo. They're looking for Yabusele, but they go inside to Gobert. He's stripped by Ba. Cedric Ba kicks it out. And that shot was short, but they save it. And Cedric Ba says, well, no one's going to get me. I'll shoot it.
I'm one of those guys who thinks you can't add, there's no switch to turn it off and turn it on. So France have got to find a way to snap themselves out a little bit.
They haven't turned it on yet in this tournament, in my opinion. You know, they came out, actually the first half against Canada, I want to say they were motivated and they believed.
Yeah.
And then, I can't even describe what happened. That big win for Latvia over France as well.
Well, they were motivated in that game. They just couldn't.
They were motivated,
They couldn't finish the game off.
They played good for 39 minutes. Yabusele's shots off the mark. Or they were up for 39 minutes, let's say.
Yeah.
Mulare kicks it out to Cedric Ba. Mulare jump shot is fouled as France are not happy, and they're going to have to be careful with their reaction. And it is going to be a technical foul as well. Not sure who the technical is going on.
I think it's on Fournier.
He seemed like the one who had the least reaction.
See, Mulare changed his shot as he was going up. And I just thought he just tried to avoid the contact. Obviously, the officials saw some contact.
Right.
Gonna get a look at it right now. So you see him change the shot, but there was a foul across the arm, possibly. But not definitely, I'm not sure.
I just think it's too early to have that kind of reaction by some of these so there you see. I didn't see that reaction. We saw it there on video after why Fournier picked up the technical foul. There's been 3 minutes played. It's a frustrating tournament. Everyone on this French team, from coaches, staff, players, bigwigs in the federation, cannot be happy. Everyone is frustrated. I don't think you can outwardly show your frustration 3 minutes into a game. Now, this is your last game at this tournament.
Yeah, what you have to show is a professionalism, if that's the right word, and a pride in playing for your country. And just get out there and win the game, and then go away from the game respecting the situation and not reacting to that. Yeah, whether it was a good call or a bad call, there is no justification for the reaction.
Right. Well, I guess you could say they got lucky as DeColo brings the ball up the court. Fournier now. They go inside, Gobert. Nice look to the rolling big.
That was better, sharper, they executed, but that's the way to react to if you think you've been hard done by. Deal with things, the things that you can control. You mentioned it right at the beginning. What you can control is what's going on in the game right now. And that's the way to react to the frustration, you're not here to make the referees better. You're here to play and win games and try and qualify, all those things. Other people make the referees better.
Yeah, I mean, just like players are evaluated by their coaching staff and the federations, referees are evaluated after every game. Cedric Ba is double teamed in the post. Nice help by DeColo, but no one there to pick up Mulare. Fournier comes up with a rebound. Skip pass corner. Cordinier is fouled.
So Mulare in that situation can't foul because Cordinier's going the baseline, there's no space to play. Just move your feet, play defense, get him to reverse it out fine. You should keep your hands way out.
Fournier thought about the shot before he caught it, and Dadier comes up with the steal and the easy two-point basket. Haven't said Yabusele's name too much yet, other than at the beginning we were doing the starting five and talking about how much we love him. Gobert, easy two-point basket, and draws a foul, so he'll earn himself a trip to the free throw line.
And this is another one of those scenarios. We had this with Yabusele when they were playing against Latvia. Latvia couldn't stop him in the low block. France went away from it. Now they really could give Gobert touches every time down the floor.
Yeah.
Trust him. You know, if he doesn't like the option he's got, he'll kick it out. But until they find a way to stop him getting the ball, just keep feeding them. Just let him play.
Well, misses the three-point play opportunity with that free throw miss. And Moulare. France showing kind of a zone. Dadier takes Gobert off the dribble, but dribbles right out of bounds. As you see Cote there on the bench in the zip up. He's done a really good job for the team, and he hurt his ankle in the first game. Apparently it's a reoccurring ankle injury. Don't know how he played in the second, third game, but he did. Jacolo takes his time, find Fournier. And they've run this play before and they found Gobert. This time they find him on the seal.
If the Cote d'Ivoire carry on playing their defense with these rules, Gobert's open every time down the floor. And that time, and sometimes he will get criticism for not wanting to be a major threat, because that's not his game week in, week out. But on this occasion and in this game so far, he's like showing to the basketball, expecting to catch it. And he was 1-on-3 when he called it there. So just keep feeding them until Cote d'Ivoire find a way to stop him getting touches.
Well, we still have over 5 minutes, 18 seconds in this quarter. France are now going to go to the free throw line every foul from here on out. Well, that one's good. I mean, really, for me, Gobert could have easily a 20-point game today.
Wow, if Cote gives him minutes, absolutely guarantee.
Nice press break, leads to a 3-on-2, and Tape not able to finish, but they come up with the offensive rebound.
They couldn't have beat the press any better than that.
No.
Tape's literally, that's a layup. You know, he's got to finish that.
Zuzua. He had a quiet game the other day. That time takes it all the way to the rack and gets the bucket and the foul.
What they wouldn't have given for that the other day, because they really were struggling at times for points in the half court. And Zuzua can give them that and gave them that game day one.
Game day 2 against Iran it was, right?
As well, yeah, the first two games. Yeah,
and he went quiet. Coming off the bench, you kind of thought he was this spark for them.
Instant
and then all
offense,
of a sudden, the next 2 games, didn't even look to shoot.
Yeah. Players, you know, players.
We have a little full court zone back into full court press back into a zone here by Cote d'Ivoire. They got to find the shooters though, and they don't get to Cordinier. So he makes another 3-point basket. This time the other side of the corner, the other corner. Cedric Ba gets it to Daly. Daly back to the point guard. A little shake and bake. Doesn't get by Fournier. Daly finds Cedric Ba. Ba, step back. That's a tough shot. No good. And Gobert comes up with a rebound.
Gobert could have amazing numbers if he plays minutes.
He could easily have almost a 20-20 night, I think.
Yeah. And they should try to give him a 20-20 night, because they're not going to stop him. Well, I don't know why he didn't go up.
Yeah, draw the foul.
Just go up.
Jacolo has to put it up, and he's fouled on the jump shot. Not a smart foul there, as contest the shot. Tape, you have the height advantage against Cote. You didn't need to foul. Shot clock was almost at 1.
Yep. You know, they'd switched. They've done everything they have been asked to do by coach. You don't foul the jump shooter anyway, but not 1 second on the clock. He's had to take a tough one. If he makes it, he makes it. Don't send Nando De Colo to the free throw line, because you know, he is and has been his whole career. He's a plus 90% free throw shooter. And he's that good that he can overcome that coach's curse as well. But no, Tape had a great game on game day 4 for this team, and he's just not started at the same level. Tournament play and at this level, you've got to come day in, day out and be consistent. He's come in, he's missed a 2-footer, didn't really collect a pass, then he fouls. You know, you cannot afford for your coach not to know what they're going to get from you.
Well, France with a couple substitutions here. And easily broke the press break there. France now back into a little zone. They find Cedric. No good. Tape can't follow the offensive rebound though. Yabusele is pushing it for France. Gets it up to Francisco. Francisco gets it back. He fakes and drives the other way and finishes around the basket. So nice strong take by him. And almost come up with a steal. They do. Yabusele's first look of the game is a 3-point shot. He's been quiet. He hasn't seemed as aggressive. He seems focused, but not as aggressive as we've seen other games by that man.
But how much better do they look? They get sharper defensively. Then they look to run, and they look a different level team. They are a different level team.
They are.
Yeah. They don't look one, they are one. But then, compounded by the sloppy turnover, they just don't need. This is so unlike France. The France that we've come to know. The one thing that set them apart from a lot of teams where the talent level was the same is that they knew how to play day in, day out at tournaments. And the one thing they've really fallen down with here is coming in and playing back-to-back games. Consistent level during games.
Well, you said it, sloppy turnover for France, so ball back to Cote d'Ivoire as they lead by 5 with just under 2:30 in the first. Tape gets it, nowhere to go. France in that zone now. Fofana, who checked into the game, his first shot is good. He's, you know, I think he's played the most for this team. Disappointing game, obviously, in their last game against Lebanon for him. Cordinier finds Francisco, and he's gonna put up the 3-point shot. Fall tips it out though. Sweet ball handling, shot clock expiring. Cordinier no good. Fofana now, he already made 1 3-point shot, just takes it right at Nicolas Batum. Kobo finds Francisco, who is wide open. And Fall is the one who tips that ball to Kobo. So good job on the boards there by France, giving themselves second chance opportunities. Fofana, nice start for him since he's checked in. Finds Diabate cutting. Diabate finds Zuzua. And nice ball movement and passing by the Cote d'Ivoire.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Really moved the ball well. Good decision to kick it. And Zuzua is back to game day 2.
Yes. This is the fun Zuzua.
Yeah.
Kobo is almost picked off by Fofana. His floater is good. Diabate had that big fourth quarter for Cote d'Ivoire where they got their only win in the tournament against Iran. And that's a turnover. And Francisco is gonna slow it down.
Diabate can't be that way. The pass was probably a little bit too firm, but okay, you missed it. Get back.
Right.
No histrionics to the bench, you're 5 on 4.
Kobo is open in the corner. He takes his time, and for good reason, as he sees that shot go in at the buzzer. So nice little finish by France, as after 10 minutes, They lead by 4, 21-25 over Cote d'Ivoire.
Well, statistically, the numbers are good. You know, it's not as if, I don't think either team has really got after it defensively, so everyone's shooting the ball pretty well. And it's tight, well, you know, the scoreline's tight, but it's, the Cote d'Ivoire just got to play every possession. Couple of offensive breakdowns offensive rebound breakdowns, where they just did not box out. France went hard to the glass. It's not that they can't do stuff, it's just they don't do it every time down the floor. Great for them that Zouzoua is having a really effective game, and both he and Fofana came off the bench really well. France can go inside at will. There's no reason Mustafa Fall couldn't have his best game of this World Cup if he gets in there and just holds his space and finishes plays. But at the end of the first quarter, the Cote d'Ivoire, I would say, will be a little disappointed that they've given up a 4-point advantage, because it was really just wide open looks. It doesn't look like they're a team who believe they have a chance to get to an Olympic qualifying tournament, because they're not playing with that intensity at the defensive end to give them the win that they need to stay at the potential to make that qualifying tournament.
Well, there's the Courtside 1891 app. Go ahead and download it and follow all the basketball, not just from this World Cup, but all the basketball around the world all year long. And just a quick, I mentioned those little, you see the armbands, the black stripe on the France jerseys, as they are paying respects to Ludovic Vati, who passed away at 34 years old. He was in the INSET program, played on a U16, U18 French national teams. He played with Nicolas Batum when on an under U19 team. And he just passed away a couple days ago, unfortunately, of a heart condition. So our thoughts are obviously with all those who knew him, his family, his children, wife, and obviously the French fans and the French players. And Nicolas Batum gave a very nice sentiment on social media towards him. So it's obviously, you know, a shock and something unexpected, especially 34-year-old, still relatively young man.
Very young man.
Yeah. Cote d'Ivoire, good job coming out of the first quarter there. First 2 points of this quarter, you see who's on the court for France, and Cote d'Ivoire falling back into, it's their box, and they're on Akobo. You see Zouzoua not leaving Akobo. Francisco now, a little shake and bake. That is a tough, tough shot from the corner as clock was winding down. Diabate almost loses the ball again. And Zouzoua nowhere to go. Nice defense there. And now they get it back up to Diabate. He's gonna have to do something though. He's gonna have to put it up really quick, and he does. And that is gonna be a 24-second shot clock violation. So nice defensive possession there by France. But Coach Cote, I guess, is not too happy about something that he sees, so he has called a timeout very quickly at the start of the second quarter.
This will be interesting. Your French is so much better than mine, but it'll be interesting to see Harry just he delivers this. You don't take that quick a timeout without being hacked off.
Qui doit être disponible. Au début, tu commences là. Quand Sylvain attaque celui-là, tu viens là. Ça fait sortir celui-là. Regarde si c'est Mousse ou si c'est Nico au milieu. Le mieux, c'est Nico au milieu. Ça tout de suite.
I just wanted to talk offensively about the box and one that Cote d'Ivoire have come out in the second quarter with.
Yeah, I thought that might be the only thing he could, like, unless he was really disappointed with something. But
1 minute.
But it's also like, does he? It's almost disappointing that he needs to take a timeout to say there's a box and one, we're going to run this stuff.
Yeah.
He should have been able to go through Francisco or whoever else is on the floor. But if he feels comfortable in the way the game is progressing, wants to try and get better on the floor, well, if he thinks he needs a timeout, then let's just do it.
And they're staying in that box. So let's see. Well, Utara, if you're left open, why not shoot? I'm not sure that was the offense that Coach Cote drew. It didn't look like it because he looked like he was drawing more than what just happened on that offensive set by France. Nice tip from behind, but Akobo is going to be called for a foul.
I mean, it's like one of those things, and I'm not aiming this at Qatar at all. But like when there's a box and one or something like that, there's a reason you're open and the other guy's guarded. As in, they're happy for you to shoot it. And after one pass of the offense, I'm sure that's not what Vincent Collet was looking for his team to run.
Diabate. Long three-point shot by Zuzua, and I like the way that he's come out in this game. Disappeared a little bit the last couple games, and he wasn't looking for his own shot. We questioned some of his shots in the first two games, I guess. Maybe he listened to our commentary. We didn't mean it that way.
No.
Francisco. They go inside to Fall. Spin move baseline. He gets the other side of the basket, and it's going to be a three-point play opportunity.
It's exactly the same as Gobert. They just can't handle the size inside. Clear foul. And if they've got that type of matchup, even if it's the box, then the back of that box has got to go and help sooner than that. And the big, whoever the big is for France at any given time is going to be, should see the ball a lot of the time. Should see it almost every time down the floor where there isn't anything early in transition. Hey, it's still only a one-point game. And we saw a game yesterday where if a team hangs around, you only need the right play at the right time in the game.
Fofana, he's made one today and make that two. And he's had a nice little few minutes now off the bench for Cote d'Ivoire, especially offensively. He had a tough day at the office in their loss against Lebanon. Fall. He thought he maybe danced a little underneath. Let's take a look. Yeah, maybe.
He just shuffled his feet when he caught the ball. Cote d'Ivoire almost going, we'll take a three, you can go inside.
Diabate finds Zuzua. Zuzua's three-point shot rolls in and out. Defensive rebound, France. They got numbers. Utara running the floor hard. No good. Smallest man on the floor comes up with it. Batum takes his time, then takes a little bit more time, and then shoots it, but it's no good. Fall tips it out. Kobo finds Francisco, and Francisco goes up and draws the contact.
Well, with if this sort of field goal percentages stay as they are, France are going to win the game because there's no way that the Cote d'Ivoire will shoot this good for the whole game. The Cote d'Ivoire have got to find a way to try and make this a little bit tougher on France at the defensive end. And the box isn't having the effect because they're just throwing it inside France. So the coach has got to come up with a different look to try and give his team a bit of an advantage.
Only trailing by one as Diabate takes it at Fall. No good. Offensive rebound by Sidibe. Francisco now. Miscommunication leads to a turnover. Fofana pushing the press. Finds Zuzua. And Zuzua from the corner. It's good. As defense leading to offense for Cote d'Ivoire. They take a 4-point lead, 6 minutes left in this quarter before halftime. And again, France kind of looking a little out of sorts offensively. Utara finds Fall. He's not going to shoot from out there. Okobo. Might have traveled again, doesn't matter, as Cote d'Ivoire come up with the ball. Diabate, nowhere to go. Zuzua, nice first half for him. Shot with pressure, Batum just knocks that ball out of the hands of Sidibe. Batum, though, then turns the ball over. Diabate wants to slow it down a little bit. Sidibe's shot is no good. Okobo. They get it up to Francisco. Utara, his shot is no good. So France a little out of sorts offensively. Dadier drives baseline, thought there was a foul, but it was a no call. And now they got numbers if they want to run, but Okobo slows it down. And Batum is able to knock the offensive rebound out to Francisco. Fall looks very tired. Zero hesitation, and that's going to be a shot clock violation in my opinion. Yeah. Referee on the baseline says foul. From my angle, it looked like a shot clock violation. Can they review this?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's the right call.
Oh, absolutely the right call. I mean, you make the point about France looking out of sorts. See, like, and now like they're going to have to go technical foul on Cote because he came up and was in the face of the official, which is the second technical on France in this first half.
Oh, and that's a technical as well?
Yeah, because Cote, after they changed the call, he ran to the sideline and walked into the face.
I didn't see, I was watching the
into the face of the official.
Okay, so the second technical foul going against France. That's going to be on Coach this time.
See, and the thing, you made this point right at the beginning of the game about what you're in control of. They're not in control of the officials. They're not in control of the off-the-court stuff and everything else. What they're in control of is how they play in the game. Their defense is, to say the least, lacking intensity. And then they stand around on offense because they're not really in the flow of the game. You know, and there comes a point where you just got to, as Nicolas Batum said, got to look at yourself.
Well, intensity, you asked for it. Yeah. Francisco, nice defense leads to a Gobert flush.
And that's how you deal with it. You don't deal with it with the criticism of the official. You deal with it by your performance.
And Terry Tarpey checking into the game for the first time for France. We talked a lot about Yabusele before the game started, and I think he's my favorite player on this French team, but Terry Tarpey is not too far behind, in my opinion.
And he sticks out on this French team because every moment he's in the game, he's trying to make things happen at the defensive end. Doesn't do anything at the offensive end he's not capable of, but what he's capable of, he does it extremely well at a great level. I think he's done himself no harm in terms of a place on this French team going forward over these games.
Yep. Well, a couple substitutions here. Spofana, great substitution he had in the minutes that he has produced in this first half for Cote d'Ivoire. Vavesa Fofana is going to go to the bench probably for the rest of until the second half. Tarpey penetrates, and that's going to be foul on the pass.
So, I have no doubt. I'm sure France will be fine in this game, but they do need just to I don't know if it's respect the opponent or if it's respect the situation.
Cordinier out to Gobert. Gobert penetrates and can't score, but he was fouled on that shot attempt.
That's a great, great decision. It's poor closeout, but Gobert saw the drive lane. He'll be disappointed he didn't complete. And this should be a three-point play, but he's come back into the game, and all of a sudden they're just dominant again on the inside. He needs touches. He needs touches for the whole game.
And he knocks down the first of two. Misses the second one, though. Moulare wants to set it up. Sidibe to Dadier. They go back to the point guard, the youngin. And the other Fofana, not a bad look by Cote d'Ivoire, and they had to make France defend the entire possession. Francisco, though, somehow gets all the way to the basket. As we see France tie the game on that Sylvain Francisco made basket. And another three-point attempt. That one maybe a little bit too early in the shot clock. Okobo, Cordinier, he's in the corner left wide open. That was well off. They got numbers. And it's gonna be a foul while shooting, as I think Tarpe was trying to foul for a while, and the referee called it on the shot. See right here, I believe he was trying to foul.
Oh, he'd already fouled.
Yeah.
Referees have that tendency, if they see them going, they just let it go so it becomes a shooting foul. Not many of the officials accept that's what they do, but Abu's has always had an impact. Sometimes not always positive, but normally the tempo gets a bit quicker when he comes in.
Yeah. Well, not able to finish that free throw and make it a three-point play. As we are just under 2 minutes, Cote d'Ivoire playing fundamentally well, I think, right now. I think they're doing what they want to do, and they've frustrated maybe France a little bit on offense, because yeah, right now, okay, we've seen them be a little bit more aggressive, especially by that man right there, Sylvain Francisco, getting the free throw line, but there was few moments, continuous offenses that looked out of sorts by France.
You know, we normally talk about momentum going into the halftime, and if the Cote d'Ivoire can maintain what they've been doing for the last couple of minutes, what they wouldn't give to go in 4 or 5 up, give themselves a little bit of a breathing space. Yep. It's about who gets the shot. Moulare, when he gets open, is a really good finisher and shooter. Fouled on the play, but that'll only be the 4th team foul for France. So there's not an enormous amount of three-point threat on the floor for Cote d'Ivoire at the moment.
No.
I mean, Moulare had at that when he first came in his first minutes, he had a couple of threes, but he hasn't really looked that consistent since. This is where they really miss Cote in situations like this, where he can create for himself as well.
Well, you don't need to shoot a three if you can shoot a wide open pull-up jump shot, and that's exactly what Moulare did there. A little full court pressure here to try and speed France up, maybe. Oh, good job.
Don't need to foul, though. Everyone's going after the ball with Gobert has it.
Francisco now trying to make something happen. He somehow I should say, Gobert catches that.
Yeah, it's more somehow Gobert caught it. That's going to be a charge.
Yeah, good job there. Nice read by Cordinier, sacrificing his body to take the charge. As I believe, there you see it. It was a good pass. He just needed to stop his momentum, which he couldn't, and Cordigné taking one for the team. So France now have called a timeout. We have just under a minute to play, and I'm guessing Cote wants to talk about something offensively and possibly defensively.
Yeah. I mean, just before he starts, Fofana coming in, the energy's been great. His ability to be in control, that's what's hurting the Côte d'Ivoire.
Derrière, tu refais le backflip. Zaya, t'es de l'autre côté, d'accord? Avec... Allez, organisez vos points. Allez, allez, allez. Comme la raquette, on attaque. Comme la raquette, allez. Le blanc rouge. Oui, on l'a.
There we see Zuzua's performance in this first half, and a lot of players, actually, what it is, a lot of players, in my opinion, have been stepping up for Cote d'Ivoire in this first half, and I think that's why we see them up 4 right now.
Yep.
They can get a defensive stop and then a score heading into halftime. That'd be a nice performance. As you see his stats, 13 points today. He's been averaging 6 a game in this tournament.
And he's had 2 good ones and 2 bad ones, so that's why it's down at 6. We're talking him up as instant offense, and he can be.
He had double digits in those other games, the better ones.
Yeah, it could have been worth taking Mike Fofana out and going back with more of a scorer in the quarter and the half. We'll see.
Skip pass is almost out of bounds, but Rudy Gobert is left open underneath instead. I don't know how Cordigné caught that pass, to be honest. And Tarpey doing Tarpey things. Okobo. France kick it out. Tarpey is left open. And Cordigné there with the nice timing on the offensive rebound. So too many opportunities, in my opinion, for France here. They go inside. They find Cordigné inside-out action. And that's a 3-point bucket. And we're going to have a timeout by Cote d'Ivoire. They have 9.8 seconds left. There you see the nice pass inside to Gobert. Gobert knows he has a shooter in the corner and an easy 3-point bucket.
And that's the thing, we keep saying give Gobert the ball. He's a great player. He'll make the right decision as he did right then, but he has to have inside touches. There needs to be paint touches for France, almost as a rule. Got to touch it there before we shoot the perimeter shot. Let's take a listen to the Cote d'Ivoire.
First of all, they will press. First of all, they will press. Hey, out goes Ba. You go here. Mike, Solo, you and Charles. Okay? Hey, if they're denied, you get the ball, run, and we try to make. Hey, you play kid. Pick and roll, pick and pop with him. Okay? Rest of you spread. Let's go.
Well, we were talking about if they get a stop and they get down the floor, they could go in possibly 6, possibly 7 up. They need to score here to retake the lead. 1 turnover, 1. You know, if Cedric Barr can get out to challenge the shot, then the rest of the team can get across to get into the help position so that Gobert's not so wide open. It's every possession, on every movement of the ball, at this level, you have to be playing, and they just get broken down so often by not everybody doing that.
Diabate goes right at Gobert and finishes at the buzzer. So a big-time move by one of the veterans of this Cote d'Ivoire team. No fear going up against one of the best shot blockers in the world is Solo Diabate, as he is all smiles. Well, they got the lead back, like you said, Mark. It is halftime here in Jakarta. Cote d'Ivoire leading France 41-40 at half.
Well, again, offensively, these stats are reasonable stats, you know, like France, I know it's only 33%, they want slightly more, but it's not bad. You know, the rebounding numbers, everything is decent. It's not as if there's a bad game offensively. You just need to see more defense. You need to see more asking the offense to make different decisions. It's a little passive both ways. I mean, the turnovers of both teams, they've been bad turnovers a lot of the time. And that, again, is about the level and the intensity of the game. But what we've got is the Cote d'Ivoire with a chance to upset France and really change the whole shape of this classification group if they get the win.
Well, we would have to go back and look in the history books as you see the key players right there. And Cote d'Ivoire are up with Dali only scoring 3 points so far. Eliokobo with 7 points for France. Yeah, we would really have to go back in the day to find out when Cote d'Ivoire maybe even had an upset over a European team, right? And this would definitely be an upset if Cote d'Ivoire pulled off the win.
There's been some upsets in this competition, but this will be
in
huge.
Jakarta, there's been some upsets, yeah.
This has been huge. This would be a huge win for them. And some of the ingredients are there. For France, the ingredient is pretty straightforward. If you get the 5-man to touch the ball,
yeah,
they have
something good happens.
Ridiculously good percentages when the 5-man touches the ball, whether it be Gobert or whether it is Fall. But for the Cote d'Ivoire, who they need Zouzoua off the bench to score? He has. Yep. They need Fofana to come in and give them real energy and quality. He has. And Diabate's done well, and the youngster Munari at the point's done well. So they've all stepped up a little bit. They've all got themselves in a position where they can think about winning this game. You know, they're not far off. They're up one, got an opportunity for one of the biggest wins in Cote d'Ivoire history if they get the win here.
Well, they still have 20 minutes. And France, you said it when you were talking about the statistics. It's not bad basketball.
No.
Maybe a little uninspired basketball
than
what we kind of expect.
Yeah, that's a good word.
Yeah. The intensity is a little bit down.
Yeah,
I mean, it's fun to watch. It's a good game.
Yeah. But as soon as France puts something on the floor, intensity-wise, they generate.
You see how powerful they can be. I really agree with you. Well, we will be back after halftime as Cote d'Ivoire are up one on France, 41-40.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are all on the same team.
We have the power to change lives through basketball.
Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin,
basketball
can bring everyone together.
Basketball for good.
Ivanovic, now he misses the layup. Now quickly, outlet to Tyrese Halliburton, the lob to Banchero. And Mike, Montenegro can't afford the misses.
Musuela, he's made the last one. Kicks it to Diaz. 8 on the shot clock. Spain don't panic, they go inside to Garuba. Got to go up. Fernandez with a prayer at the end of the clock. Knocks it down. Timeout, Lavia. And Rudy Fernandez does what Rudy Fernandez does.
As Doncic will try from midcourt. He gets it from the logo. The fans on their feet. His dad in the stands. Slovenia, all but securing their future to the quarters.
Pushes that lead back up to 10. And
wow.
I believe it was a block. They're gonna say it was a block.
Behind that pass, Wagner slam. It's Schroeder to Wagner. Germany fans on their feet.
Well, the finish was powerful, but the pass was exquisite.
Doncic hits Horvat. No, it's blocked. Exum there on the read. No look pass to Toby. They've had a connection all tournament long.
It is, and they got to reevaluate. The hard showing on everyone.
Finding Bogdanovic, turnaround, quick shot, takes it. Bogdanovic, Troika. Well, coach, it may be Troika time. He's made the three-pointer. They're going into the halftime break with a 2-point lead. Well, dobro jutro, dobar dan, dobra večer, laku noć, Serbia. That is for you.
Normantas. And, oh, the rejection from Antetokounmpo on Big Jonas. What a swat.
Waters now pulls up, half court. Oh, baby! 3 puntos, por favor. Trevon Waters. Ay, Dios mío. Incredible, as they would say back in Puerto Rico. Away in the flush. That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
Well, there you see the numbers. Gobert with 10 points, and that's a good sign if you're a French fan, because it's the first time in this World Cup that he has scored 10+ points, and only the 4th time in his 21 appearances ever at a FIBA Basketball World Cup. And, well, if Rudy Gobert comes up, continues to score, France have never lost when he has double-digit scoring, except to the USA in the quarterfinals back in 2019, where they won that game too, though, actually. So It's a good sign if Gobert scores for France. But I just want to see them play a little bit harder because I know how good they could be, and I know how much fun they could be to watch. Go ahead.
That's the word,
yeah.
Fun. They could be fun to watch. If they get excited about each other, they could be real fun. The great thing for the Cote d'Ivoire is the Zouzoua performance, 13 points. Diabate came in, was good. Love the fact that Sidibe's contributing on the glass because I think he's probably their best big player as such in terms of his ability to match up with people. But if France play harder, if Gobert or Foul touch the ball, unless they've something in transition, they've been almost perfect, whether they've scored or they've kicked it back out. And they should be looking to do that anyway. Paint touches, inside touches. When you've got someone like Rudy Gobert on your team, he's experienced enough to know what he can and what he can't do. He'll give it out. He won't take a bad shot. So they really need to get into that. Give him touches, get him more involved. And really, is beating Cote d'Ivoire enough, or is it how they play that's the real measure of this game?
Hard to say. I mean,
in normal circumstances,
yes, in normal circumstances,
they've got to get the win. I mean, that's the first thing, obviously. But if you're France, you're not walking off the floor here saying, "Oh, we're so great." I mean, and that's no disrespect to Cote d'Ivoire.
Yeah.
France came I'm here expecting to be matching up with Spain, matching up with the US, trying to take down Luka Doncic, whoever they were going to be faced with. It wasn't classification. So this is something they have to win. That's a given. How they play is, from what Nicolas Batum has said on a couple of occasions, is as important almost to make the statement of where they want to be.
Well, can France come out with a statement win, or Cote d'Ivoire going to be able to pull off a big upset without one of their leaders, Cote, there, as he is encouraging his teammates and like what he sees in the first 20 minutes of this game. As coaches now, let's try and listen into some last second minute details.
The job is done. Only Foul. Keep the energy to get it in the first half. They helped us a little, but now they will go full power. Okay? Hey, listen to me. When you play shoulder for you, okay? But you are 4, you are 3. If you play corners 5, corners 4, he is 4. Shoulder, you play, okay? We start man to man. If we are in a box, you are with the... No. Mistre with the colo. You are here. You are here. Okay. Let's go. Hide the guys. Don't communicate on these screens. Let's go.
Well, as the players are coming out, we still have about 45 seconds before halftime will start, and France going with Sylvain Francisco in the starting lineup instead of Evan Fournier. And I'm sure a lot of that has to do with, being a little bit more intense, picking up defensively. As you see the World Cup app right there, go ahead and download it, scan that QR code, and follow news conferences, highlights, top 10 plays of the day and of the games. And nice little crowd here for this game.
I was literally just about to say, Shona, that for the fact that there's not a lot of traveling fans for either country. There's a few French people in the crowd, but like this is people from Jakarta coming out to see the World Cup. It's been a big success here. It's all over the streets, all over sort of news features and stuff that this great tournament is here. So it's great to see these people come out to see France. Let's be honest about it.
And nice cut there by Cordinier as he gets his first 2 points of the second half. And second half action underway. France just took the lead on that layup. Tapé getting a start. And no good with that shot as Cedric Ba, the captain for Cote d'Ivoire, is on the bench. And also Fofana. Well, Gobert was fouled.
As we always say, better late and right than than wrong and early. They did such a poor job at helping on the roll. It took Tape so long to get back, and you can't play underneath Gobert if you're going to help across. You've got to try and make it a tougher pass. It just took so long, and at this level, you can't be that long in that rotation. Otherwise, you can't play the hard heads. It's just too easy for France.
Well, Gobert misses the first of two. And that one kisses the front of the rim, but goes in. Full court pressure here by France. And they get it over. Back to Moulare, who started this game for Cote d'Ivoire and starting this half in place of Kone. Fofana to Daly in the corner. Daly's shot is no good. And France now. Cordinier picks up the pass that was a little bit in front of him and finishes easily.
Coach Prokis might need a timeout here because I don't know what the what you're looking at when you've got a wide open foul line jump shot and you want to try and go over Rudy Gobert. Just shoot the wide open 12, 14 footer.
Moulare. And another turnover.
He's shown it at the moment. Every time, we got a great angle out there. Every time that someone from the Cote d'Ivoire looks down the keyway, Rudy Gobert's there.
Yeah. But he takes up a lot of room.
And they still want to go there. They're not trying to drag him out. And whether they're going to take Moulare out, I'm not sure Moulare was the issue. It's not about the offense you run as such. It's about the decisions you make within it. And they've made poor decisions in these first 2 minutes.
DeColo now gets it up to Yabusele, who and he stepped out of bounds. How many times have you said, do they not understand the size of the court?
So those guys that catch it and take that back step and that before they go forward. Yeah. And it doesn't matter how often you tell them, now don't take that back step. Just builds up that momentum.
Diabate, little shake and bake. He goes at Gobert, but kicks it out. Daly's three-point shot, front rim. Gobert with another rebound. DeColo now waits for Yabusele. He's actually going to receive 2 screens, and his three-point shot is good. I think that's the first time I've really seen DeColo come off a screen and actually look aggressively for his own shot in this entire tournament.
Yep.
Well, you called it. Coach is going to have to call a timeout, and that is exactly what Dejan Prokic has done for Cote d'Ivoire. So let's listen in.
He's got to deal with 8-0, though. Could have called it 2 possessions ago, in my opinion. But let's see what he says now.
Play, hey. Next offense. Work. Misre. Solo. Misre. Waf. Waf. It's fine. Dali. Hey. Here. Handoff. Here. Mold, play pick, step up. Do you understand? Wow. Here, Misre, hand off, and play step up. Do you understand? Roll.
Misre got the ball, huh?
No, you got the ball. No, I'm here. Just get the ball and hands it off to you. And you play. Yes.
See, the other thing, Shoni, it was really clear on the last possession. We're going to get another replay of France going on this 8-0 run. Zouzoua has 13 points. Diabate penetrated wide open. The whole French defense is below the foul line, and they just don't find the player that's open. And in this instance, the player who should get the ball anyway. And it's just their issue, and it's like, it's not what they run, it's how you run it. They haven't given Zouzoua a look, and they've gone 8-0.
Right. Cedric Ba into the game for Cote d'Ivoire. He goes against Gobert. Nowhere to go, though. They kick it out to Zouzoua. He's going to have to put up a prayer. He does. And no shot clock violation as France come up with a rebound. DeColo.
Just contagious.
Just no one
It's contagious.
No one came over to help, so 7 points for him on that basket.
How much more aggressive was he, though? It's great to see DeColo playing like that.
Well, nice response and a desperately needed basket there by the Cote d'Ivoire as Fofana knocks down his three-point shot, and he has 11 points today, 3 of 3 from the three-point line. Yabusele goes inside to the big man. He keeps it high. He finishes high. Diabate, baseline penetrations. Dali, corner three is good. So better offense here. Penetration kick, a little bit more movement by Cote d'Ivoire. Francisco just stops and shoots. He says, well, you're not gonna defend me. I'll just shoot the ball. Not really a play on the ball, but a foul will be called against DeColo. Cote d'Ivoire get it in easily. Now they're looking for Zuzua to get it to him. Good job defensively. Cordigne getting back in front. And nice hands, picks the ball as Francisco just goes all the way. So nice defensive possession, but they didn't get back. And Zuzua probably had a layup, but three-point shot is worth more than a layup.
For me, again, France have a layup wide open. No one else runs the floor, and they give up a wide open three the other way. They're almost in the stage.
It's not the way that we're used to seeing
No,
France play.
it's not. It's all the way we're not used to seeing France play.
Well, we're not used to seeing them play in these kind of games either, though.
No.
Zuzua, Fofana, he goes baseline, and not the best option there as they had a little bit of an advantage.
Well, they were 3-on-2. And he goes behind the backboard, and he's got the ball from Zuzua. If the defense drops and levels off, go back to Zuzua. There's a huge opportunity here for the Cote d'Ivoire if they can just play at that level where they're not hurting themselves.
Francisco's shot is blocked by Cedric Ba, and Fofana throws the ball up. I think he wanted a foul, but nothing was called. Didn't look like it.
And now you have to wonder why he doesn't get a technical foul, because they gave the technical fouls early in the game.
But I'm wondering what actually, like, was he swearing? Was he using foul language? We don't know exactly what's being said.
But he held the ball and ran around the court, disagreeing with the referee's decision. And everyone knows he's disagreeing with the referee's decision. And they've already made the braces of saying, we're not going to have that. And we've already given 2 technicals to France. And I'm a very big critic of France, the way they talk to the officials far too much. But if the officials are going to start doing it, they've got to be consistent. And we don't know exactly what was said, obviously, but it didn't look good.
DeColo. Oh, nice pass to Yabusele. And that's going to be a blocking call. I believe he might have been inside the charge circle, and that's why. Look at that pass.
Yeah, he's on the line.
Yeah.
Because he definitely didn't move. He was standing there, but he was inside the charge circle.
Yeah. As Fofana coming out and trying to inspire his teammates on the bench there. Fournier has not played a lot today. As that one hit off the front of the rim. And France will stay with a 7-point lead. Outscored Cote d'Ivoire 17-9 in this quarter. And that layup's no good by Diabate. Gobert's running, but Sylvain gets it back to DeColo. DeColo's shot is good.
Well, it's a little bit more like Nando De Cola that we've come to expect. I mean, that's catch, shoot, comes off screen, catch, shoot.
Dadjier to Sidibe. Sidibe shoots. And I believe Yabusele is going to be called for a rebounding foul. Well, there you see Fournier checking into the game. So this is that rebounding foul. Just kind of pushed Cedric Ba out of the way to get the rebound. Diabate holds on to it. He wants to take it, and he does. And he will finish. And that foul's going to go against Cordinier. So nice body control by Diabate here. Takes the hit. It was a great finish by him.
Absolutely tremendous. Gobert got caught underneath Sidibe, so he couldn't really come out and contest it, but just not taking the full advantage of where they are. They're still only 8 down. They've got a big opportunity here.
Well, weren't able to take advantage on that three-point play. Yabusele. Nice passing by France. Fournier's layup's no good, and now Cote d'Ivoire, they're pushing the tempo. They're attacking. They just throw it up to Sidibe. Nice little hesitation. Got Yabusele off his feet as he scores 2 points. So you said it, they were down 8. Make it 6. And just over 3 minutes to play in the third quarter.
Just got to be solid now with their defense. Make France make a tough one. Not a layup.
Well, not able to make the layup, but Cordinier draws the foul. So he'll go to the free throw line. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing. They make a little run and then that happens.
Yeah, it's like no one committed to help because he'd beaten Diabate from a long way out as such, way beyond the three-point line. There's no reason they shouldn't be able to protect the drive lane to the hoop. All right, they might make that. Well, pass it to the corner. Well, then you're counting on your teammate to help you.
And that one's good.
I mean, France are having a disastrous night from the free throw line. I mean, they're under 50%. It's a good job they are. Otherwise, they would be not so much out of sight, but up 14, 15 points.
As you see Cordinier there come off, and Okobo checks into the game for France. A little full court pressure here by France. Token full court pressure. Diabate. Gonna wait for the screen. He uses it. And little floater is no good. Fight for the rebound. It's going to go off the hands of Gobert. So ball back and a new shot clock for Cote d'Ivoire. Diabate looking for Dadjier. Finds him. He thought about it. And nice cut on the baseline, no good, and it will be a shot clock violation. Oh, it was a nice little cut, nice find.
Yeah. 2:27 in the third, and Mustafa Fall's coming. They should be able to cope. He's still big. He's still a real asset to this French team, but they just do a bit. They can be a little bit more aggressive on the ball with Fall in the game.
Fournier has been quiet tonight. And Mustafa Fall clears out Sidibe, but can't convert. And miscommunication. I don't think you're going to go over this French team, though, in those kind of passes. Akobo.
Well, they had 3 guys back there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yabusele. Spin move, no good. Diabate finds Dadier. Dadier. Skip pass to Dali. They go inside to Ba. And tough take is Diabate. With a few French defenders around him. Rises above them, and look at that. Forces the turnover, and now he's easily gonna finish, and Vincent Cote does not like what he sees the last few possessions here for France, so he's gonna call a timeout as the lead has now cut back down to 4 in favor of France. We have 1 minute and 23 seconds, and what you felt like was a game France was gonna run away with is in the third quarter. Cote d'Ivoire says, no, not yet. Let's listen into the French timeout.
Allez, let's go. Allez, les gars. Le ballon, cross.
And this is the scenario we've really been talking about the whole game, because France aren't really imposing themselves on this game, because their defense is not what we come to expect from the level of defense. They're letting the Cote d'Ivoire hang around. A couple of turnovers and it's back to a 4-point game. Well, we saw a game yesterday where a team hung around and in the last 2-3 minutes went ahead because you don't then have a chance to rectify it. And Terry Tarpey's in the game, that's always a good sign for France. But it's just, and Nicolas Batum's in the game, so.
I mean, I know at the end of the day, let's say Cote d'Ivoire get the big upset win over France, you know, France would be like, yeah, but we weren't really playing well and this game meant nothing to us. You're still playing in a World Cup.
Yeah.
Every game when you wear your country's jersey across your chest should mean something.
No such thing as a dead game in international basketball.
Diabate maybe trying to do a little too much on that possession. Lots of time on the shot clock still, but Dale says, I'm open, so I'm gonna let it fly, and he does.
Wow.
Zone. They go inside to Fall. They find a Kobo. And Fall kicks it out as Ba. Again, a late foul. Ball was far away. Fournier hasn't even attempted an outside shot yet. No need to foul him.
He's going away from the basket. If he makes that leaning away from the bucket from the three-point line, hey, great shot. Let's go the other way.
Well, new shot clock for France. And Kobo, penetration, Batum shoots that one. His three-point shot, front rim, no good. I imagine they're gonna hold it for the last shot here. 10 seconds in this quarter. And Cote d'Ivoire could take the lead again. Dali, penetration against Ball, no call. Batum to Akobo, that's gonna be way too late after the final buzzer. Well, missed opportunity for the Cote d'Ivoire on that last possession, as after 3 quarters, France are up 1, 61-62. Nice little end of the quarter for Cote d'Ivoire, as you felt like France ran away with it in the first 3 minutes of that quarter.
Well, there are those stats again. Everybody's over 40%, except the trouble is one of those numbers is 44% from the free throw line. 8 for 18 for France. Probably one of the indicators of how not fully engaged, if that's the way to word it, they are. Because at the start of that third quarter, as Shona said, they moved the ball, they opened it out, double-digit lead, everything looked normal. They had a couple of, they really did generate turnover, ran the floor well. De Colo was really aggressive. You're going to see him shoot the 3 here. He also took and came off the screen later before he sat down. But Cote d'Ivoire hung around. They were given the opportunity to hang around. And if they'd have been a bit more, let's just say, more consistent with their level of execution, who knows where we might be with the score. Zouzoua hardly got a touch in that quarter. I'd expect they need him firing. But this is dangerous for France, and I agree with you about how important this game isn't in some ways. But the Cote d'Ivoire beating France, when you look in the record book in a few years' time, they're not going to go, oh yeah, but. What they're going to say is that Cote d'Ivoire beat France for the first time, and there's an outside chance this could help them. If they win the group, they really do give themselves an outside chance of getting to the Olympic qualifying tournament. Not direct to the Olympics, but they may sneak into that.
Not direct to the Olympics, because we do know now who are going directly to the Olympics.
That's a story.
That is a story. But first, we got a story here because we got 10 more minutes, and we'll leave you in suspense. We'll tell you who that is later on.
But it is a story.
It's a great, great story. Well, they're trailing by 1. There's 10 minutes left. Can they get the big upset win? Diabate. Oh, finds Sidibe. Cutting behind him. And foul is going to be called for that foul. So nice little action there.
Yeah.
I like how I thought Diabate was going to go up, but right here. Good job.
And that
takes the big defender.
Yeah, that was as smart as they've been all game. You know, they took full completely out of the middle. Sidibe makes the throws, gets the lead. You almost don't want them to lead too soon.
Yeah. Game is tied. And now they go up 1. They were leading at half by 1. Fournier. Okobo. Okobo. It's a tough shot. Almost an offensive foul, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Fall, though, with the rebound. Fournier's first three-point shot of the game. And I think that's going to be credited to Batum with the offensive rebound.
Yeah, the referees are signaled too. And it's no surprise when it comes to those effort plays that it's Batum. And now he's at the defensive end doing the same.
Well, there's a response. Datier knocks down a three-pointer.
Such a dangerous team to let hung around here.
Well, we've seen France let teams hang around before, and I think that foul is going to go on Cedric Bach.
See, that's one of those fouls you don't mind. You know, he has a real chance to get it. It's not one of those like last second going to the sideline things where they reach for it.
Well, we saw France let Latvia hang around in game day 2. And, you know, what they'd lead by 6, 8 at the most?
France, no, they got to double digit at one point.
Oh, okay.
Got up to 11 points in that.
So 11.
Yeah.
And then Latvia just started to climb back in the fourth quarter, and it was neck and neck. And they took their first lead with 37 seconds left, and that basically ended this tournament for France, or ended their medal hopes, I should say.
Absolutely.
And that was on game day 2. Sidibe can't go up with it, but he gets it. Daly, no need to force it. There's lots of time on the clock. They get it. Diabate, penetration. Sidibe, that was a nice pass, unfortunate miss.
Almost, I'm not sure he was expecting it, almost. Diabate really making some great decisions.
Batum drives baseline, turns it over. Okobo, though, nice hands. No, Diabate with the nice hands. He goes right at Fournier and isn't able to draw the foul. Fournier now, maybe got away with the travel. Tarpey, it's ugly here. Someone's got to slow the, well, or you got to get back on defense, and no call again.
Got to finish plays, though.
Okobo Finds Tarpe. Tarpe. Batum. Corner three. Fall. Knocks the ball out. Kobo. Goes inside to Fall. Fall brings it down though. Keep the ball high, big man. And that one at the buzzer is good for France as they take the lead again.
Well, if you give, I mean, even a French team playing poorly, you give them 4 shots, they're going to score. And they've missed 2 layups in the same phase.
Diabate's response, though. Oh, goodness me, what a response by Diabate. As he's smiling.
At Fournier.
Okobo. Batum goes inside. And a foul, no, sorry, a 3-second call is going to be called.
And Mr. Becker from Australia said it wasn't 3, it was 5. He was in there forever.
Did he say that?
Yeah, he said it was literally, no, how can you call it 3? He said, well, he was in there for 5. You know, it was absolutely camped in there the whole time. It's not the usual. You don't see that call very often. You have to
really be camping in there for multiple possessions, probably.
Yeah, you pitched up your tent. You're in. You're ready. You're set.
I got the camping chairs out.
Absolutely. They got the drinks on. Everything's fine. How long do they believe they're going to win this without coming back with Gobert?
Well, now we have Batum on Diabate. Probably a defensive move here by France. Diabate takes it at Fall. No good, turns the ball over, France. Oh, Fournier. Just careless with the basketball, but it makes him mad as he picks it back up. And France now, they're gonna slow it down a little bit. Fall to Fournier. Fournier drives. And no good on the layup, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Try to find the right way to talk, all right? Try to find the right way to talk.
Timeout here, and timeout for Cote d'Ivoire.
Listen into the timeout here.
Timeout for you to rest. Only for that. And don't lose your energy on this stuff. Come on. One thing. The other thing. When you have a hectic situation like this, don't go crazy. You go one, the other. No, stop and let's make them work. Let's pull that out. Fall to go to defend the pick and roll. You can play shirt. Why don't we play shirt? You're on a 3. Dali's on 4. Play shirt. Try to put the ball down on Francisco. Okay? Hey, when I say 2, we are in a zone. Aide, let's go. Aide.
It was almost, sorry, go on.
Yeah, it's been Diabate, hasn't it? You know, he's, not only has he scored good from the perimeter, his decision-making on the pass and the penetration has been so much better. And what a sloppy period of play, both ways. And as coach said, when it gets like that, hey, let's just let's run what we need to run. Don't just go up and down, one bad decision leading to another bad decision. If Fournier makes his, we're tied with 5:51 to go. And the Cote d'Ivoire have a chance that I don't think coming in here they'd have dreamt they would have.
Fournier, very good free throw shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like that timeout by Coach Prokic was more just to calm his players down.
He is walking the tightrope, isn't he, with this group? It's like you want them to be aggressive and up-tempo, but just don't go over the edge.
Yeah. Dali to Dadier. Nice pass inside to Sidibe, but he's blocked by Fall. Trying to go inside to the big man. They do. Skip pass, Fournier, baseline. No good. Diabate, it's been all him this second half. I think that just fell out of his hand as he kind of looked at the ref, but it looked like the ball just slipped out.
It has become a little bit in the last couple of possessions, a little bit. He's going to come down and he's going to penetrate. They haven't moved the ball and then penetrated. And perhaps this is where Coach Prokic, and he's doing it. I was going to say, is this a time where you want to bring Zouzoua in and roll that dice? And it's always a roll of the dice with him. Is he going to go in and play like he played in the first quarter, or how he played in the third quarter? You know, he needs touches, obviously.
Can you make the signal, the official signal? Can you make me the signal? Okay, thank you, appreciate it. We have challenge.
Well, I think Coach Cote maybe wants to try and upgrade it.
Yeah. As the referees didn't want to upgrade it, it'll be unusual for this to happen. Let's take a listen.
They're going to say he made a play on the ball.
Yeah.
Let's listen in.
Can you put the main camera? Okay, let's play. All right. Take the ball. Okay, the camera from behind. This. Plays the ball. He tried to play the ball, I think, no? Yeah. He always tried to reach the ball, never get it, but it's a normal play basketball situation, right? You agree? I agree. Okay. Final resolution is normal foul. Normal foul.
Is white 77.
Okay. The time is right.
Challenge is unsuccessful.
Yeah, in 22 seconds in the moment of the contact, right? 22. All right. Challenge unsuccessful. All right. Let's go. Oh, watch out.
Well, you heard it.
You make the signal. Normal foul. In the shot clock, 22.
And you know, like, we've been talking about this a lot, and as you heard the official say, it was a play at the ball. What they used to say was, is it a reasonable, normal action? Or is it just...
Did you slow down?
Or you stopping the clock, you stopping the break? And there you can hear the difference, because that's where we were 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So there was as long as it's a genuine attempt at the ball, they're not calling it as an unsportsmanlike foul. As unlikely as you are to get it.
Batum tip pass, Francisco had time, and he knocks that shot down.
Zouzua's in the game. It'll be interesting to see if they can get him a good look.
Well, Zouzoua, doesn't matter how it goes in, as long as it goes in.
How good or bad the look is. But if he's in that mental place, great for Cote d'Ivoire.
Well, he was really quiet in that third quarter. You said it. They didn't get him the ball enough. They got a 5-on-4. Zouzoua, zero hesitation.
Okay, Prokic throws the dice. He's at 50% with him. Good look for him.
Yep, great look. Cordinier cuts to the basket, gets it back out. Batum, shot fake, easy layup for him. Diabate to Sidibe. Nice action there by Cote d'Ivoire. And they trail by one. There's 3:30 left in this game. And Diabate, that's going to be the fourth team foul, not
unnecessary. Yeah. And also, if they're going to beat France, there's no shortcut. There's no, quick way of doing it. The Batum penetration, no one helped. He actually dribbled the ball on three occasions, 3 bounces. No one had adjusted to try and help the ball. And then they try and reach with no chance of the steal. There's no easy way to win this game. They've just got to knuckle down and play some defense.
Well, can they knuckle down and play some defense now? DeColo. Shot was well off. He's been looking for his shot more today, which I like, is the youngin, Mulare. Pull-up jump shot is good.
You love fearless players at times, and young players always are fearless.
You either love the fearlessness or you hate the fearlessness, depending on how the ball falls.
It's a great job by Fofana, the first guy really to help and take it away, and no one helps him.
Well, tough take by Cordinier. And France back up by 1. This game is coming down to the wire, folks. Abu.
Oh.
There's a lot of time on the clock. I don't think that was the best offensive possession by Cote d'Ivoire and Abu there. DeColo to Francisco. Francisco into Gobert. Well, Gobert hasn't played much here in the second half, but he has been efficient when he's on the floor.
I mean, Diabate, after that really short spell, has come back. So has Cedric Barbe. They leave Abu in the game.
And Francisco, great read defensively. As Cote d'Ivoire turn it over. Big mismatch, but the double comes. So Gobert actually turns it over. Diabate right at Batum, no good. Fofana fight for the rebound, and a foul, an unsportsmanlike foul is gonna be called against Cedric Ba, I believe.
I think we need to see this one again.
So it's gonna be 2 shots and the ball for France. So here's a fight for the rebound. Because he grabbed his leg. Well, he did kind of grab his leg.
Yeah, if that's the way the officials saw it, unsportsmanlike foul. The only way that you see it any other way is as he was falling, he had to bring his arm in and just happened to get his leg. It looked a little bit grabby for me.
To me, it looked a little bit grabby. Disappointing, though, as the captain now is going to have to head to the bench for Cote d'Ivoire, as that's his 5th personal foul. France only have 1 foul in this quarter, so they could definitely slow down the ball, not give any quick, easy looks to Cote d'Ivoire on the other end. As that shot rolls in.
Well, it's a very big ask now. They absolutely must get a stop here. If they get a stop here, they're right back in the game. If France score, it's a long, long way back.
They've kept it tight for most of this quarter. They're in a zone.
Wow.
Shot clock, DeColo. And that is not what you wanted to see if you're a Cote d'Ivoire fan.
If you're going to show the zone, you've got to match up on a shooter like DeColo, not look at him take a wide open one.
And kickball. Shot clock will stay at 18.
See, again, Shona, like, as he penetrated, all of France went below the foul line.
Yeah.
And Zouzoua like out there, like, begging for the basketball. I'm not saying that would be the answer, but there's 5 blue shirts in the keyway on the penetration.
And turnover, nice hands by Nicolas Batum. DeColo, he just knocked down the last one. Fofana, hang time, no good. A foul's called though. So he'll earn himself a trip to the free throw line. Well, good way to get back in the game is scoring while the clock is stopped.
Yeah, he makes the pair, and it's back to a 2-possession game. But what was Nando DeColo thinking? 8 seconds into a possession with a score like this.
Lead, yeah. Well, he just made the one earlier, possession earlier. And make that 2 for Fofana. And they get the ball in. As you see DeColo saying, you say Batum saying, hey, we got to slow it down, use the clock. Diabate all over Francisco. They find Gobert. Gobert, 0 hesitation, easy finish by him. And a foul. I mentioned it, they have fouls to give, and it wasn't on the shot, so it'll be possession Cote d'Ivoire. Nice finish by Rudy Gobert on that last basket. Abu, no good. Gobert comes up with a rebound. About a 10-second differential, shot clock, game clock. France leading, they're up 8. They gotta get a steal, and quickly. Cordinier, penetration. And I believe it was on the pass to Gobert, but it doesn't matter because he's gonna go to the free throw line as Cote d'Ivoire have already committed 5 fouls.
Well, you kind of feel that it's an opportunity missed here for the Cote d'Ivoire. Scores were tied deep in the game. They had minimal leads as well. They got out to a 1, a 2, and a 3-point lead. And I'm not sure if, when they look back at the decisions they made then, and taking the time out now, it's like it's all intents and purposes a waste, in the sense that, you know, they could have taken it earlier. They could have maybe stopped that French run. But it really is credit, I think, when France look at it, bringing in DeColo, bringing in Rudy Gobert with a 2 and a bit minutes, just over 3 minutes to go, settled everything down, and they really looked after the ball since then and got good shots. Let's take a listen to Coach.
Dali, you are here. Wap, you are here. Nisra, you are here. Hey, screen, elevator. Look for Dali. Wap, when he goes through, screen, look for Dali for a shot. Do you understand? So, one screen, elevator, screen here, look for Dali. Of course, if they are alone, give them the ball. Do we understand each other? Come on. Hey, and go for the ball, straight after. Let's go. Don't give up.
Well, Gobert's been the man for them, hasn't he? In terms of the most, you know, influential player on the game. He's had a really big game. His minutes have been relatively limited. But whenever he's been in the game, France just are much more difficult. See his numbers, 17 points and 8 rebounds. The only thing that stopped him having a career night is the fact that Mustafa Fall has played a lot of minutes.
Yeah, true. I mean, he has 7 made field goals. It's the most by him in a World Cup, so clearly his best game in a World Cup, as Dali's 3-point shot is off the mark, and that is gonna do it. They will have to get it over half, and I can't imagine them scoring. Well, it was a game of runs, and you almost wanted Cote d'Ivoire to pull off the comeback win and the big upset win against France, but it just wasn't meant to be here in Jakarta, as they fall to France 77-87.
Well, we're going to get a look at the statistics. And the statistics in this game doesn't really tell us, you know, how the game panned out. Vincent Collet shot there with Nicolas Batum. When he went back with around 3 minutes to go, when the Cote d'Ivoire still had, I think, at that point, had a 1-point lead. He put back Gobert, and that pretty much solved any issues he was having as Nando De Cola went back in with him as well. So France are going to end what's been a disappointing time here. One of the few people who've come to Jakarta and had a disappointing time. and it's they're going to end with a win. So when Batum said they've got to look at themselves, you would hope and think that they really would have had conversations as a group. So they've tried to salvage something out of this World Cup, and they've done that. 2 wins to finish off their World Cup campaign. Possibly a competition and a tournament that might have been for Cote d'Ivoire. Close in their game against Lebanon. Close in other games, but then in the end came up short with just the 1 win. 35 rebounds, 41 rebounds. Messy game in all sorts of ways. Cote led all scorers with 19. Zouzoua had 18, he had 13 at the half. Had that little spell where he went the 3 and the 2 in the second half, but not really seeing enough of the basketball. We're gonna look at the best plays of the 4th quarter.
I like that. We just saw the French players go and high-five their fans and show their appreciation, because they came a long way. I know there's not many of them, but they came a long way, and you know, showing them a little bit of respect. And a disappointing tournament for everyone. They know it's not what their fans expected either, as we see some of the highlights. And you saw Vavesa Fofana talking to his team after the game there. Well, they missed an opportunity to upset one of the best teams in the world, even if one of the best teams hasn't had their best tournament at this FIBA World Cup this year.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They got a lot of positives, though, I think, to take away from this tournament if you're, you know, the Cote d'Ivoire Federation moving forward.
Well, you've got some youngsters coming through. Mulari really did impress at times, you know. He really did come in fearlessly. He's only 20. He's got stuff that's really going to help this team going forward. And these guys, there's a group of these guys that will be around for the next cycle. They've just got to get better. And they've got to get more used to playing 40 minutes. They've got to get more used to the decisions you make at this level to win games. Otherwise, they're always going to be what could have been. And there could have been some wins.
Yeah. Yep, well, it's a new cycle now. I think, for me, the biggest story of the game, of the day here, not in Jakarta necessarily, of this FIBA Basketball World Cup, has to be South Sudan.
Well, it's you got to say the job that Luol Deng has done in not just building a team, but really almost building a federation. All the people involved in that program have just done an amazing job. That's what the Olympic Games is all about, you know, people doing and competing. Tremendous story. Congratulations to them.
Yes, I love it. Totally agree with you. Well, this is the standings. Cote d'Ivoire falling to France 77-87. So France will finish first in Group P. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back.